What's up, world? It's your boy Jack. Real quick check-in, man. Let's get straight to it. So the other day, I was blessed with the opportunity to attend the Central Texas African American Conference up in Austin, right? And it's a real nice conference and everything. And so during the workshops, I tend to advocate for people being more active in the communities, right? And I tend to structure that conversation towards the clinicians and whatnot, like, hey, like, we would like to see you guys more often in the neighborhood. And so after the workshop, one of the clinicians, or a young lady is what I'll say, came up and we had a conversation. And, she said, well, let me ask you a question. Why would we want to go back to the hood after we fought so hard to get out of it? You know what I mean? And so that question hit a little different, right? I never looked at it from that perspective, right? And so I took a little time, took a minute to reflect. And so here's my answer to that, right? First of all, let's say this. When I say go back to the hood, I don't mean go back to the grimiest corner that you can find where all the going-ons is going on, right? I'm not saying that, right? What I'm saying is connect to your local community center, connect to the boys club or the girls club or, or some type of mentorship program, things of that nature, The reason I go back is because I might be the only shot at hope that somebody would see in a culturally numb community. Right? I went up through the old neighborhood the other day and everybody my age and everything is they're the new winos, man. And I know I'm probably going to catch slack from that later on by calling them winos. But what I mean by that is when I was growing up, we had those old cats that just hung up under the tree and just drunk beer and wine all day, every day, right? That was their whole job, right? And so we laughed at them. And so my thought process behind that is when did we become the winos, right? When and how did we become the winos? Because that's all we seen in that community. And so you grow up, you be successful, and then you end up under the tree drinking wine and beer all day, right? That's the end game, right? We're going to work on getting our disability and get us a Section 8 apartment and live off of our $700 a month SSI or SSDI check that we're getting, right? And that's only because I found that to be my baseline, right? And the first shot at hope was when I finally seen somebody. I was on vacation, Curtis to the state, and I seen this brother walking down what we call the bowling alley inside of an institution, right? He's walking down the bowling alley, and I'll never forget it. He had on a FUBU jersey, some Jabot jeans, and some Jordans, right? Starts down, Jabos, right? And I'm like, yeah, man. And what I seen was that was the first glimpse of me possibly going back inside of a prison and bringing hope to other individuals, right? Now, of course, I didn't mature and manifest into this awesome cat and all of that and just start giving back. I still had to go out and get a few more lumps to go, or let's say I had to go do some research and get a few more chapters for my book, right? That's where we are. And so now we're writing new chapters, right? Things that I never thought could be possible. I go back to the old neighborhood and I have gang members talking about wanting to start a nonprofit, right? And that's because they seen me load up my truck and bring food back to the neighborhood and disperse it to families in need. I never thought it'd be so hard to get people to take free food, but when you come from a distrusting community, it's hard to believe that somebody's actually up here passing out free food, right? And I think neighborhoods need to see more of that. Not just so much it's mainly about the food and fresh produce is what I'll say, right? Feeding the communities that are located in food deserts and eating all the unhealthy things, right? But it's also about connecting the community, connecting to the community, right? Connecting to a need. I'm not saying show up on an event in your dress whites. You know what I'm saying? Just come up, be normal, t-shirt, blue jeans, have a conversation with somebody. You never know who you may inspire that day, right? And it won't be because of your credential, but it'll be because of who you are, right? And that's my whole message. That's what I shoot for all the time. I want to keep a certain standard. And so when they say Jack Brown, they can say, hey, he's all right. He's a good dude. He's a man of his word. I don't know if that helped anybody today. It helped me a lot. Peace.